They say change happens when the cost of staying the same is more than the pain of changing. After everything, I was in that point and I had to change to survive my life. So I started doing everything that I used to do, but this time with more intensity and more serious than ever. It was barely a month after I experienced living in war for the first time in my life. I was still carrying the fear, the uncertainty, and the anger that war made inside of me. And for a long time, I was acting victim. I was waiting for someone else to come and save me, even after I got into my dream university, and even after I was getting ready for moving abroad finally after 2 years. So at some point, I talked to ChatGPT and we decided to start a 90 days challenge. And if you know me just a little bit, you know that I love challenges. And you would also know that I had gave up more challenges than I admit. And honestly, this challenge didn't start with perfect conditions. If I want to be honest, it started at the weekend and also by me waking up exhausted and less than 6 hours of sleep. But also, it wasn't just the conditions that weren't perfect. At the same time, I was also feeling that I'm gonna give up. Like always, I was expecting to give up. Though I had to report ChatGPT about what I'm doing and if I followed the plans or not. And that made me a start. I started it and I did the work imperfectly. By the midday of the first day, I was going to give up. But then I decided to just push a little more, and that led me to start working seriously. This is not the first time that I'm trying to change my life, but this time is different because this time I'm done being stuck and I'm sick of waiting for something to happen and someone to come so then I finally go and follow my dreams. No, that's not me anymore. Now I want to actually take action, and this time I'm gonna build my dream life brick by brick, like the boss girl I always wished to become. This time, this vision board, it's gonna become the reality of my life, not just another vision board that I put aside and I dream that maybe someday it will become true. And that's why I'm gonna focus through these 90 days and try to build my reality by my own hands. I don't care how tired I am. I don't care how I feel. I'm gonna be disciplined this time, once and for always. And I'm gonna take you two with me. Yeah, there's no excuse for not living your dream life, cause let me just put it aside. You have the power to change your life. Maybe you haven't discovered it yet because you haven't tried yet, or if you have tried, it wasn't enough. I think like now I'm sounding like a teacher, so let me just tell you what I'm gonna do. Yeah. I asked ChatGPT to give me a 90 days plans. I asked it to help me to build my dream life without any laziness from now on. And he actually recommended me to follow these 90 days plans that makes me go closer and get closer to my dream life. And I'm gonna do as it tells me because I have nothing to lose and so much to gain. And now it's the beginning of the era of my life that I stop wishing and start creating. Let's start reading, baby, and get one mini step closer to my dreamy future. With latte, of course. Yeah. Of course, I was only reading, writing, and making content, but those simple things weren't what mattered. I was trying to be disciplined for the first time in my life and be consistent and focused on what matters and try to prove to myself that I'm not just talking. I also do what I believe in. So I decided to give it a shot and just continue to see how much I can handle, how many days I can stay and keep going. So by the end of the first day, I reported back at ChatGPT that I'm done, give me the plan for the second day. And the second day turned into the third day and fourth day. I decided to make a new persona for my social media because war really showed me that how short life is, and it changed me in a way that I was trying to be more unapologetic. I was in a phase that no, I don't want to care anymore, and most of it was coming out of anger and out of deep annoyance and frustration that I wanted to do something rebellious. I wanted to ignore everything and say that no, I don't care about anything at all. And between you and I used to think that if I want to change, I should wear dark, I should be intense, I should be harsh, and I should be unfiltered. Today I recorded my first spicy book review of all time, because always I was insecure about it and I was like, no, I'm an innocent girl that don't read spicy books, but I'm hell not. And I read spicy books. Let me show you what book I read. This is the first English book I read, and this is dark and spicy as hell. But this is not the book I read right now. The book I'm reading is The Prize by Sarah Kate. That is so freaking funny and also so spicy. I love it, yeah. Let's just laugh at it and ignore it, yeah. This is so hot here. I'm melting in my room. Yeah, and now I'm gonna go record some more videos. But that was new for me, so I wanted to tell you about it. And yeah, it was not really as strange that I was consistent for 4 days, but when the 5th day came and when I got the plan, suddenly something changed. On the 5th day of my challenge, I started my day strongly. Today is the day 5 that I'm trying to change and rebuild my life entirely in 90 days. And I woke up strongly today. I dressed up. I wrote down mindset shift questions like things that I'm proud of and limiting beliefs that my voice is shaky. Limiting beliefs that I want to overcome. And right now I read a little of this book. This is still just telling the stories, and I didn't get anything new from this. Everything he's telling in this book, he told in other books. And right now, this is one of my tasks, to record a video. And then I'm gonna go upstairs, eat a little breakfast because I'm hungry as hell. And then I'm gonna come back here, do my stuff, and do the work. Everything was going well and I was proud of myself until I went up to have breakfast. And again, I saw another news, which was about another war, but this time not in Iran. This time the war was in Thailand. And honestly, when I saw that news, I was shocked because I was trying to move to Thailand for a long time and I had already went through war and I was trying to escape from that situation. Then imagine that in that situation that I was waiting to move to Thailand, I suddenly saw that the country that I'm moving to is in the war. That news almost crashed me and I was like, screw it, I don't want to do anything at all. And I was this close to give up the challenge and just fall back into my past routine, past life, that I suddenly decided to talk to the person who knew about my challenge and who were in charge of that challenge. ChatGPT, of course. I told it that how frustrated I am and how I wanna escape. But this time when I was looking for comfort, ChatGPT didn't give me comfort. Instead, it gave me what I needed. It gave me the truth that yeah, it is true that there is a war, but it doesn't change your life. You should still change your own life. Otherwise, you just keep repeating the same mistakes and keep stuck forever. When I heard about that vision, I thought about it and I realized that how right it is. And if I want to give up with every single thing, I can never make the life that I want. And if I don't make the life I want, I never have the power to make any change. So with that, I saved the day. I passed day 5th successfully and I kept moving until I passed the first week of my challenge successfully. When I was keep going with that challenge, I got curious that how would my life look like after this challenge and after I achieve my goals. So again, I asked ChatGPT that what would my future look like. For the first time, it got me the story and the vision of how my future would look like, and it was so vivid, so fascinating that I couldn't just ignore it. I kept asking more and more about it, and I realized that what a big future I can have. Before that, I used to play it small. I used to just think about the smallest things that I could achieve. But those fantasies woke something inside me. The dream of the biggest future that I could have, things that I would always imagine, but I couldn't believe that I am capable of having them. I used to always dream about building an empire, but I would think that no, this is not mine. No, this is just a fantasy. Or maybe I would just think about it and think that, yeah, that's nice. But let's be honest, in the reality, I cannot get that. But something in that time was different. First of all, my personality was changed. Second of all, I was already doing the challenge, building the discipline, and following the boring plan. Third, I was imagining those fantasies and seeing the possibilities. And fourth, why not? I was finally getting to the realization that why not? If I want something enough, I go for it, work for it, and do my best. And if I don't achieve it, at least I know that I tried my best. At the end of the day, that's way better sleeping with the knowledge that I have done everything that I could do other than just waiting and wishing and not doing anything. Every day I would get plans, I would do the plans, I would report back to ChatGPT, and we would evaluate my day and decide to do better the next day. Until at a point, I finally started believing that maybe I'm changing, and at that point, quitting was harder than continuing. So I kept continuing, writing, planning, and trying to live again in small moments by experiencing small joys of life. Recently, I'm so obsessed with these Monster energy drinks. This flavor is actually new for me, and this is the first time I'm gonna taste it. So let's taste it together. Yeah. Cool. This is delicious. This is Pipeline Punch. The flavor is something like passion fruit or mango or something like that. Now what we're gonna do, let me show you. I'm obsessed with planning and organizing things and controlling things. I have a Monica inside of me. Right, we never knew that. Right now, I want to start making content pillars for my YouTube and for my TikTok channel because one of the most challenging things of content creation is ideas. Like most of the times I run out of ideas and I should try to brainstorm new ideas. So content pillars are so good for that and they help me. I recently found them and I'm obsessed with them right now. So let's get to writing content pillars while I'm having my delicious drink that I'm obsessed with right now. Yeah. I was keep going with my challenge, and at the same time I was checking with my university, with my agency, that what should I do, when should I get ready, as I was getting closer and closer to the first day of my first semester. Fortunately, the war in the Thailand ended, and at the time I was ready to go to the embassy, apply for the visa and everything. That suddenly on a weekend night, my agent called my father. As always, they had good news for me. Good news that would end up with me struggling more and them telling me that yeah, it is what it is and we can't do anything about it. The news they told me were so pleasant that I had to rethink everything again. Yeah. A few days into my 90 days challenge, I got invited to a family dinner. I tried my best not to go because I was just starting that challenge. I was still not sure about it, that if I could keep up to my challenge after going in that noises, and I didn't want to distract myself. I also wasn't ready to show my new self to them and show off in public. So I had every excuses not to attend that family dinner, but at the last second I decided to attend it. I dressed sharply because of course I was thinking that I should go sharply and harsh. But it wasn't that bad because it was also giving me confidence, and since the first moment that I stepped there, I was feeling so confident like never before. I could feel it in my bones that I'm not the old Elena anymore, and I'm this new girl who believes in herself and is building something huge. That made me still do my plans and do the tasks that I had to do, like writing, reading, and everything among all the noises. I didn't engage in the toxic conversations, and I only did things that I would feel that would be valuable. And strangely, I could brainstorm many ideas during that dinner party. Honestly, that dinner passed pretty quickly, unlike every time before that. But when it ended, it left me with something valuable, a realization that my new identity wasn't that fragile that I would think. And if anything, I knew that this new identity is what I always wanted and what I'm gonna keep with myself.